Sky-Knight assault vehicle. So much for Ace. Now the Wild Weasel for Jake. And Tidal Blast for Max. Stand by for beam down.
Welcome back to Retro Wednesday at the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the entire collection of Kenner Centurions in the package. Boxed. Everything made. And that's kind of the way I'm going now. I don't collect in the package for everything, but over the years I've gotten one here, one there, one here, one there, and figure, heck, I've got them all. I've got some duplicates that I'll show that really aren't even variations, but there are variations to the packaging that I don't have, and I did this as cheap as humanly possible to achieve all of this. This was not sealed. Nothing in here, maybe two are sealed, I don't know, but most of it is open. Most of it's complete. Some of it might be missing a piece or two, but my complete stuff's on display, which is what the loose collection is what I care the most about. But anyway, let's get into looking at all this. Every single thing in the Kenner Centurions line with the glare coming up. Alright, so there's not a lot to get excited about when collecting Centurions. And like, this was one of these first mats that I made, and I was going to do this and go all out and put backers on it and stuff and do like 2 perks. I thought I was going to do a bunch of Centurions videos, and I did. But nowadays, I'm finding that the only 2 things exciting, Rom and Toy with their 80s commanders, and they do have the antagonist scientist coming out. Probably talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. And then Anson, who has made some of these unreleased weapon systems, and that's Strato Strike. But this video is really just going to be talking about what was made by Kenner. Now, this is in no means a brag session, because a lot of collectors have a way nicer box collection than I do. I'm just over here with this stuff that I got as cheap as I could, and I'm gonna showcase this. I've decided I'm gonna go each character, then all the villains, because each character with their weapon system, and we'll do the Jake last because he has 5. But we're gonna start with this. Now, this is not sealed. In fact, I did have to do quite a bit of work to it to get it to look this good. It was opened and effectively a loose figure with the packaging. And I did make sure to get the bubble one with the bubbles in there that hold the stuff. And I wished I would have had the original backer that you strap him to. But this is the thing that people say, well, Mike, why do you have this out of frame? Well, because it's out of frame. Why do you have more than one action figure? Because I eventually wanted to do this. I wanted to box this stuff up. And so another thing I'm noticing is that this here is something they were doing to try to move this stuff. And so they put these little stickers on it. But a lot of this stuff, that the packaging is still saved. A lot of this has clearance stickers, discount stickers, and we're going to see that as we go. They were marked down. Then here is a picture of Ace McCloud on the side. I loved this design of packaging. It's just so strange, just the way it goes from narrow here to out up there. I even wonder how they stuck these in the case. Then here's Ace McCloud, and it just has his profile unequaled for his skill and daring air maneuvers, and you can read all that if you want to. Air assault weapon system. And I think this is Sky-Knight that he gets packed with, and here it is. And then the box shows the pictures right here of different variations of ways you can set it up. But I mean, as a kid, this is what you would see in the store, and it would be so exciting. As a kid, this is what you'd see on Christmas morning or your birthday. And really, Centurion was one of those things that was here in I think it was 86. It was here, and then it was gone. And it's like, as fast as it came, it was gone. This one was from a Target, and then there's the bottom of it. So kind of fun to see this stuff. If I move it around too much, probably the weapons will fall out. So there's the Ace McCloud. I am pleased with the box on that one, and the amount of work I had to put into it to get it to look as nice as it did. Next one is Orbital Interceptor. Now this is kind of the mid-size. So you have, or maybe this is the small. I think you had a small and a large and no mid-size. Maybe that's how it went. Yeah, so this is his small extra weapon system, the Orbital Interceptor. Now this is showcasing, now I don't know, this one is, it might actually be sealed. It might actually have a sealed, is it sealed? No, it's not. but it's nice artwork. I do believe the artwork. A friend of mine, Nick, was telling me that it's the same art person that made the art for the Karate Commandos for Kinner's Chuck Norris Karate Commando line, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool, interesting tidbit there. Anyway, Orbital Interceptor, and it shows the actual item, the sort of fantasized actual item, and then it says Orbital Interceptor on top. On the side, you get to see, again, another picture, that same exact picture getting reused. The bottom, just artwork and a proof of purchase. And some of these, I think, have proofs of purchases cut out. I don't know if you mailed away for anything, though. But Ace Patrol's Battle Area, these different configurations. You don't have to do just the one standard configuration, which is what made this toy line so good. And what's on this side? Oh, what the Interceptor says. So, fun stuff there. Now, getting into Skybolt here, somebody must have said $10 at a garage sale or something. I don't know. But that's so stupid to put that on a box. But at the same time, I think I paid $50 for this in this condition, but I think it's new. So you get like, I could always upgrade the box down the road and have new in it. And this is kind of how new stuff looks when it's new. This is kind of the fun part of doing videos like this, is getting to see what does the vintage stuff look like if it's brand new. Comes with everything in the package, and then I don't know what the spots are on it. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun putting all of this back in there, but brand spanking unused. It's definitely a good way to collect. So we see the weapon system and the art. We see that picture reused again over here, and so showing you how it would just sit on its own with everything clipped to it without having to have a figure in it. And then you can see all the different configurations that they show you can do with it on the back. And fun stuff, just Centurions art. $150 is what somebody at some secondhand shop thought it was going to go for. Thing I want to point out is my Orbital Interceptor is not new, like sealed baggies and stuff. It's used, but it has the box insert. One thing about having the insert is the boxes maintain their integrity better with the inserts. And a lot of times inserts are lost and missing, but this box here, as you can see, has held up a lot better because it has the insert in it. Now the box isn't in pristine shape, but the shape of it, like, it's not in great shape, but the shape is great. Next up, we've got Max Ray and all of his weapon systems. As you can see, we have them all. C-Bats, Tidal Blast, Depth Charge. Let's start by looking at Max Ray himself. Now, I have to say that this box is not the greatest, but he is the hardest one to get a good box for out of the three. And even my cellophane here is cracked. Now, there's ways to upgrade that. I would say go get like a radio controlled, like a decent sized radio controlled cheap one that uses this type of, and just cut it off of that to match the size of this, and it works. That would work fine, I would think, if you wanted to replace it. So anyhow, the weapons are all in there. It looks good. Again, this is another one that is opened, but I got it cheap. I think I paid like $100 to $125 for this and for the Ace McCloud, but the box and random different various parts were included. But I put the best figure and the best parts in it to look good. There's a picture of him on the side, like how you could set it up or how you should. No one sets it up like that, by the way. There's his bio, if you're interested in all of that. And again, I like the shape of these boxes. They're so cool. And then we have the Max Ray and his cruiser, and it's showing you more things you can set them up as. I think most people get a little closer to this or this with their setup. And yeah, this just reminds me so much of the days that I got these. When I opened these up, I think I got all three of them probably the same Christmas or something. And it was just exciting to get them all the figures and to open them up. And with that, that's part of why we collect the package, for the memories. But some of the other ones I didn't have. So let's get into, let's go biggest to smallest. And here is a Depth Charge. As you can see, I'm going to point this out, there's a lot of $8 on clearance. So originally was, I don't know, $20, took it down to $8. So that's not bad. Or 20 bucks for this giant box and all kinds of stuff. And this box is in pretty nice shape. Here is another picture of it in resting mode. On my shelf, though, I do keep it similar to this, but I take the bomb out and just put it right here to fit on my shelf better. Gotta come up with some stuff to make it fit on the shelf better. Here's some more configurations you can do with it if you choose, which is nice. And yeah, that's the box. Now getting over here to Seabat. And Seabat, well, no, I guess we'll do Seabat. Seabat's the small one. Tidal Blast would be the middle size one. This box isn't great. I mean, this is one of the rarest ones, and I think I did pay 600 bucks for this. I mean, it's not like it was cheap. And the guy who sold it to me gave me, I don't know how he ended up with so many extra parts for Seabat, but I got enough extra parts to have a complete one in this box here, I think. Was it a complete one? Yeah, a complete one in the box, and then I completed one on my shelf. So just no insert. That sucks. Not having an insert definitely is a sucky thing, but it is nice to know that there's a complete one in here. And it's so rare, getting the insert might be impossible at this point in time for me. And then we have the Tidal Blast, which this is literally just a box, and I stuck a complete one in there. I do think it's interesting. There's like a bullet hole look there, bubbles coming up. There's firing going on, but there would be no fire in water. But it's just the way it is. There's some stuff to read, and I guess I didn't stop it on this. So stuff to read, if anyone cared. I don't know if that's something anyone cares about. On the back, different configuration options that you'd want. Still kind of fun stuff. Let's move on to the big one, the big dog, Jake Rockwell. So just look at what all Jake Rockwell came with. I mean, he had all these weapon systems. He had the detonator, he had swing shot, he had the power pack is designed for him, but you can use it with all of them. But it's his color scheme. It's him on the package. So all of this is Jake Rockwell. And that is quite impressive. All right, we're going to take a look at Jake himself, and I have to say this was the easiest and the first one I got a box to that had all of the inserts and everything I needed, and I just plugged my figure in, and it was really cheap. I mean, I think I paid 40 bucks or something, but I had to plug my figure in it, which, I mean, 40 is not bad for just the box, and then you plug your own figure in. And you know, people say, why do you have more than one figure? This is why. There's a picture of him, which is pretty close to how people usually have it configured, but not exactly. And then here's his bio, and I am missing my UPC, so I won't be able to show you what the UPC is, so you can see if Target has it online, or Big Bad Toy Store. Okay, for Jake Rockwell, land operations expert and fire force. Jake locates cyborg enemies, and Jake prepares for battle. So fun stuff with the Jake Rockwell. I love that blue in there. I will say that all of these have variations. I've seen like Ace with a blue, Ace with a yellow, Ace with a red. So I'm not sure why some of these have different color backgrounds and some don't. I just figured like the blue would contrast with his colors, and then red and yellow would contrast with Ace McCloud's, and so on and so forth. That's why I just assume. You know what happens when you assume. I'm just going to start small to big, I guess, on this one. So power pack was 28 cents at one point in time, a little more than a quarter. And so that's like 28 cents. That's like almost $1 nowadays, right? In modern, after inflation. So this is kind of fun. These are great little ideas. Here's the back of it, and they do show how you can use it for every figure. That's nice. And I like the power packs. I mean, I really do. I use it for detonator. I have it on 2 or 3 vehicles. It's kind of fun. I think I actually use it on swing shot too. Here is the next one, Wild Weasel. And it's kind of firm, but I don't think I have the insert for this. No, I don't. Wild Weasel takes up a lot of space in there. I'm surprised they fit it all in this little box, because there's a lot to Wild Weasel. Here is the bottom of it. You can see the actual vehicle. One of the modes. Here is the explanation. If it focuses. Here's the all the different configurations that they say that you can do with this thing. Ready for battle. Target locator rotates to guide. Yeah, he's staring at the ground. He's looking at his target locator. All right, next up, let's get into Hornet. And Hornet is my favorite. I'm just going to put it out there. Hornet is the best weapon system. Maybe it's not just my favorite. It is the best. He's a land operations specialist that has a helicopter, so he can go in the air, and it's cool, and it looks great in its just resting mode, resting something face mode. Here's the Hornet, and if you want to read what all it has to say, get into the back here. So what we see here is different configurations, but they're all very, very similar. There's not a whole lot of different stuff you can do with it. It does show that the kind of arch stuff is to the back, and so some of mine I have like set up wrong, but anyhow, this is actually a pretty decent box, and this one might actually have the inserts in it too. Might be new. Yeah, this one is one that's brand new, and it's nice. It's nice to have a brand new something, you know. And then they have all of the parts in here. This is how they did it back in the day. This is fun, kind of like not messing up my box, but seeing how they had all this stuff in here back in the day. Next up is the swing shot. This box is kind of rough. It's got some tears, but a swing shot in rough shape box is better than no swing shot box at all. And I would say the one I bought this, it wasn't even complete. So it's just something, I don't even think the one in there is complete yet. So that's just life. That's life, how life lifes. There's no insert, but I had the opportunity and I got a pretty good deal on it. And so I was like, I'll just buy it. And once I bought the more expensive boxes, going after the more common ones was a lot easier. It's damaged, but I find it fascinating though. What all can you do with this? They try to say like the treads would roll across the top and he could be rolling across the ceiling or something. You can use the treads to stabilize him in the back as he's firing up at the sky. And then just sort of the standard configuration that most people use. It's it's the usual configuration. And I'm surprised that they didn't show it with the power pack on it. Now here's this stuff here, if anyone cares. And just standard art on the top and bottom. But yeah, boxed in rough shape. I'm still extremely happy to have it. So I literally got this box because it was another one of those deals where it was like $50 and it had the parts I was missing to make my detonator complete. And I said, well, those parts would cost more than what this person's asking. And I get a box. Not a good box, but I get a box. Well, the downside to getting such a rough box like this is that I've seen nicer boxes pop up, and I'm like, well, I already have a box. So I could have upgraded this 3 or 4 times for about $100. And I didn't. So I may eventually one day. But at the same time, though, whenever I kind of finish something like this, I move on. Because I've got other collections I'm working on. It's not just Centurions. And with that. So freeze ray blaster, pulsate, detonator swivel to shoot skyward. And Jake blasts the enemies. Here's the writing. If anyone cares, you can pause it if you want to see all that. Next up, we have the bad guys, the baddest of the baddies. And I have to say, redoing the box work on these guys was easier than doing the box work on any of these other ones. And so with that, I worked magic. That's all I got to say. But we have Doc Terror, Hacker, we have Traumatizer, and the other bad guy is Strafer. That's it. That's all the bad guys they made. We're going to start with Doc Terror. And again, people are going to say, Mike, why are you showing off? There's not anything showing off. I literally got this box for like $16. And then I built this plastic. I use laminate. And it works for me, for what I need. And I built the backer. of yellow paper over cardboard, and then I strapped in all this stuff, and I just got a vintage one, and that's what I did. And this is my box, $16. It was rough. It's real rough. There's Doc Terror, Evil Genius, and this part has popped open on me. I will try to repair that again down the road. It's good to do this video so I can repair it. Here's his informations. And I mean, Doc Terror is like a $100 figure at most. You can probably get it right now for cheaper than that, complete. So, and then just got a box. And I probably could get a better box down the road. I probably will eventually. But this was what started my wanting to complete my boxes once I got a cheap Doc Terror box. Hacker. This is another one that was really cheap. I don't know what I paid for it. I truly do not know what I paid for it. And I think that's a replacement there. And of course the whole backer is a replacement. All of that. I'd probably pay $20 for the box. Maybe 30 max. This one does have the UPC cutout. I don't know why. See, I'm starting to wonder, like, why was the UPC cutout? What was there that they milled off for? Because I don't remember anything being a mell away in this line. So maybe somebody will enlighten me and we can talk all about that in another video. But here's Hacker, and just looking like Hacker. Here is his wording right up on him. And then showing the combination. And I do probably skip past that real fast. Does that show on here too? Yeah. You can see that they show the combination, how they can combine with each other's cyborg parts if you so choose to go that route with it. And then let's get into the strafer. So here's the strafer. And I believe I have a strafer in the box. Let me see real quick. What do I have going on here? Yeah. I've got at least one, maybe two strafers in the box. So that kind of gives it some weight, holds it form a little bit. This is an interesting, cool little box that's now out of frame. And it just shows the strafer. It shows it's not much to the strafer. And then on the side here, we've got Doom strafer. Same picture of it. This is what it's supposed to look like. I thought it was odd, though, that the strafer doesn't, the missile doesn't connect to his back too. You would think that so much of this, why did they not make it to where the missile could connect to the back also? Or can it? Can it connect to the back? Yeah, I guess it can. I just never do that. Oh, I guess it can connect to the back. I just never ever do that. Oh, scratch that. And look, they show you can put the wing missiles on the back of the legs or on the back of the back, and it's all kinds of things you can do. Different configurations. Shows you can connect it with Doc Terror. But fun strafer. I had that as a kid. I had strafer. So it's like strafer has a different meaning to me than traumatizer. Traumatizer is traumatizing, and this is a tough box to get. So the first one I got was kind of rough, but I wanted to get a complete one with the missile, which I have quite a few, and I bought very few complete, and I think I only bought like 3 or 4 of mine complete. The rest I just pieced together parts and pieces for 20 or 30 bucks apart until I completed one, and that's how I did the traumatizers for a long time. Now with this, to get the box, like somebody would want 150 for a box. I'm like, yeah, but for 500 or 600, you could get a traumatizer with a box. So that's what I did. But it's getting harder and harder to find these boxes. So I upgraded to, I think this is a nicer box, but they both have issues. So it's really hard to say which one's nicer. So I'll feature this one. It's fun that number one, Sears exclusive, $5 on sale. Originally $8.99. Now $5. And then it shows in the back 1, 2, 3 more. So you should troop build these, but they're an exclusive to Sears and hard to get, but you're supposed to troop build them. And you're also supposed to troop build these guys. You can see that in the picture. So troop build them. There's a picture on the back. We've got connectivity with Hacker. So this one connects with Hacker, and you can do them however you want, by the way. You can connect them however you choose. That's up to you. And you can do all that with it. Here's the writing on the wall. And that concludes all of this. They wanted to really drill home. It's $5. Let's look at this other one I've got. Let's see if there's anything different on it. This one was... There's not a price tag, is it? It's Sears also. Not really much to this one. It's rough. It is brutal. Somebody sold it for $1 at one point. Wow. Or was that $100? Was it $100? Someone sold for $100 at one point. All right, so let me know what you think about the Cantor Centurions boxes, the box art. Was any of this helpful for you? And with that, I'm going to be doing a few more videos like this. I don't go after a lot of full run of packaging, just very, very small lines. It's one of the smaller lines that are out there and ones that I just thoroughly enjoy. But let me know what you think about this, and do you have packaging for an entire toy line for the vintage era? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and Teddy Jeremy Hanger out.
Okay? I'd rather be up top.